Hi friends. So today we will be discussing about best practices in a project management with key phases. So I'll share my screen now. So I hope my screen is visible now. So guys, I have prepared this called best practices in a project management. So what is project management? So project management is a discipline that applies formal processes, methods, tools, and techniques to a related set of tasks or activities to complete them within a specific time and budget. Examples of projects are it can be developing a new product from scratch, construction of a new building, implementing a new software at your company. What is the role of a project manager? Role of a project manager is a person who leads team of individuals on the journey of completing these temporary pieces of work. He or she is ultimately responsible for the entire delivery of the project, making sure this is not only completing successfully, but it is also completed on time and within budget. So what is the project management life cycle? Life cycle includes initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and controlling, and then closure. So what do we do in the initiation phase? In the initiation phase, we create the project charter. Project charter includes project objectives, outlining of scope and responsibilities, and identifying of stakeholders. In the planning phase, we develop detailed plan covering scope, schedule, cost, quality, resourcing, communications, risk, procurement, and stakeholders engagement, kick-off meeting, and agreement of baselines with all the stakeholders. In the execution phase, we do the leading and directing team, motivating and guiding and engaging stakeholders, resolving issues and conflict. In the next phase, monitoring and control, we do the tracking of progress against the plan and recommending corrective and preventive actions for any deviations, facilitating change control process. In the last closing phase, we do this final sign off, handover, any archival of documentation, customer satisfaction. We get the final sign off from the all the stakeholders from a customer. Skills required to succeed in this role are one should have organizational skills, communication skills, good listening skills. He should be patient enough to handle people with different mindset. A good problem solving acumen. He should be able to handle tricky situation with calm mind. The most important thing in the project management role or program management role, whenever you are into delivery role, working as a project manager or program manager, you have to be calm enough in tricky situation as well. You can't be losing your temper. You can't behave aggressively while dealing with customer, while dealing with the team members, dealing with stakeholders, your upper management. You have to have in a calm mindset always, so that you can sustain in this role. If you tend to be aggressive and in small things, small issues, then you will not be succeed in this role. You cannot continue working this role. So to succeed in this role, first and foremost important thing is you have to be patient enough and you have to be diplomatic enough. You have to understand the situation first, what is happening around, who's doing what. You have to look at the you have to look at the root cause of the issues. Why, when, where, what is causing issues, what is causing challenges. That so you have to do a deep dive to succeed in this role. Okay. So challenges faced by project managers are first major and common challenges we come across in project management role and while executing any projects are scope creep. So adding scope creep basically means adding additional features or functions of any new product requirements or work that is not authorized, which is beyond the agreed upon scope as per the contract. So scope creep happens when changes are made to the project scope without any control procedure like changes request. Those changes are also affecting project schedule, budget, cost, resource allocation, might compromise the completion of milestones and completion of milestones and goals. Scope creep is one of the most common project management risk. Generally, scope creep occurs when the new project requirements are added by project clients or other stakeholders after the project properly reviewed. Therefore, project team is expected to task, deliverables, and milestones with the same resources and at the same time as the original scope. To overcome this scope creep, I will add another presentation in my next video, how to overcome this scope creep in the projects. So generally, we should have defined processes, we should have defined contract, we should have proper change management processes, and there are other things also which I'll prepare in my next video. So to control a project keep, we need to have change and risk management plans, like resource allocation, poor communication, poor stakeholder management, poor risk management, ineffective project leadership, poor monitoring controlling. So ensuring high quality deliveries define. So next topic is how to ensure high quality deliveries. So we need to define quality, commit to quality, stick to project requirements, manage quality, perform quality assurance, control the quality, focus on requirements, follow project processes, agreeing for acceptance criteria with the client. For example, adhering to SLAs. SLAs are service level agreements. So tools and services can be used in projects are like mostly globally, uh, companies has been using in projects is Jira software, which is an agile based project management tool that supports any agile methodology, from agile boards, backlogs, roadmaps, reports to integrations and add-ons, and you can plan, track, and manage all your agile software development projects from a single tool. Jira enables teams to plan, track projects, release software, generate reports, and automate processes using a single platform. Hundreds of thousands of organizations worldwide are using Jira for developing software and tracking issues. Progress reporting to company management. A project progress report is a document that explains how much progress your team has made towards the completing an ongoing project. It outlines the completed task, activities carried out, and the targets achieved. A progress report can also include one or all of these. It can be status of the project, milestones achieved, responsibilities of each team member, issues faced by various team members, and how often the progress reports should be submitted. It can be daily, weekly, monthly. It also heavily depends on the project scope and complexity. Progress reports also provide valuable insights on how your team can finish projects more effectively. A well-structured progress report template also allows the project manager to identify key issues affecting teams productivity and projects progress toward completion. These insights can be further fed into a knowledge base which contains the best practices on how to manage and execute future projects. Customer satisfaction. So generally customer satisfaction, we have different criteria. For example, NPS and acceptance. So Net Promoter Score is a market research metric that is based on a single survey question asking respondents to rate the likelihood that they would recommend a company, product, or a service to a friend or colleague. Customers that give you 6 or below are called detractors. Those who give score of 7 or 8 are called passives, and those who gives 9 or 10 are promoters. Promoters are generally have score between 9 to 10, are loyal enthusiasts who will keep buying and refer others, fueling growth for the customer. For a business, passives are having score between 7 to 8, are satisfied but unenthusiastic customers who are vulnerable to competitive offerings. And detractors are having score 0 to 6, are unhappy customers who are not happy with your services, with your product, and who can damage your brand image and impede growth through negative word of mouth. So be cautious about services offering to customer so that you don't have to face detractors. Always try to have promoters between 9 to 10 scoring. Then further we have RTM, which is known as requirement traceability matrix. So basically RTM has to be defined, which is a kind of mapping of different requirements against different sections of different documents, and also test cases, which all will be helpful in ensuring that the coverage is complete. Also helpful in tracking how the requirements are progressing right from the beginning till the end of the project. While collecting requirements, collect all the required like functional, non-functional, which can also call technical requirement, quality requirement, safety requirement, training requirement, business requirement, or any other stakeholder requirements, etc. Once we have collected the requirements, we may not be able to address or in the same priority which we need to prioritize. Using a project scope statement, which consists of project description, characteristics, output of the project, deliverables, assumptions, constraints, acceptance criteria for the customer's expectations. So we must see what is in scope or not in scope. We have to clearly capture it. Also, once define the scope, it's very difficult to manage scope of the work at a very high level. Then we have to decompose into smaller components which can be called WBS, work becomes structured and should be managed in an efficient way. When we divide different life cycles will be there, even every phase of the project is called life cycle, will be having terminology called a control account will be having work packages, and to make it happen, which are the task for the activity has to be carried out. When we are going to make WBS, we have to define till the work package level so that it can be delegated to the team. Then further, based on their convenience, we will keep on adding the things. WBS is a deliverable oriented mechanism, not an activity based. WBS is a kind of hierarchical elements of like a parent child relationship. For example, detailed description of work package, which department is going to carry that work, timelines, budget assumptions, if there that will be added. This can be called scope baseline. This will be part of the project plan, which will be agreed by all stakeholders. Anything which is there in the WBS, we must follow it. To make changes, we must go through the change control process, or change control board, or change control management, or which can be a CAB approval. So change approval board, steering committee, or change control board. So typically in a project charter, we are going to mention the key milestones. Milestones should not be delayed. If for any reason it is to be changed, then think of why there is a change should be communicated to customer on time. To overcome this, try adding resources and parallelly keep on continuing the activities. Then think of a possible, can we extend the schedule, can we cut down scope, or we may have to add new resources which will have the impact on cost and timelines. Okay, so we'll further look at the methodologies adopted in project management rules in projects. So we have old methodology known as waterfall project management methodology. Now most of the companies do not adopt this methodology, but we'll look into it, how it works. The most common way used to be to plan out a project is to sequence the tasks that lead to a final deliverable and work on them in order. This process is also known as waterfall methodology. Traditional method for managing projects, or the one that is simplest to understand. You must complete one task before the one begins in connected sequence of items that add up to the overall deliverable. It's an ideal method for projects that result in physical objects, and you can easily replicate to project plans for future use. The power of this methodology is that every step is pre-planned and laid out in the proper sequence, which, while this may be the simplest method to implement initially, any changes in stakeholders' needs or priorities will disrupt the series of tasks, making it very difficult to manage. This methodology excels in predictability but lacks its in flexibility. Now we'll look at the most commonly used methodology, which is known as agile methodology. And most of the organizations go for agile based projects now. So we'll do deep dive to this methodology. The core of the agile methodology was developed in the year 2001 with four central values: individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following a plan. Agile Manifesto of Software Development put forth a groundbreaking mindset on delivering value and collaborating with customers. Today, Agile can enforce of these values as well as the frameworks for implementing them, including Scrum and Adaptive Project Framework. So, what do these various Agile frameworks have in common? Project deliverables, project objectives are made clear by the customers, whether it is internal or external. While the final deliverable can change as the project progresses, the project team works in a iterative cycles, always evaluating results at the end. Depending on the results of these evaluations, final deliverable may be modified to better answer the customer's needs. Continuous contribution is key, both within the project team and within with project stakeholders. We'll also study about Scrum. What is Scrum? Scrum is the most popular agile development framework because it is relatively simple to implement. It also solves many problems that software developers struggled in the past, such as inflexible project plans and shifting production schedules. In Scrum, a small team is led by a Scrum Master whose main job is to clear away all obstacles to working efficiently. Team works in a short cycles of 2 weeks called sprints. Through the team members meet daily to discuss their work and any roads that need clearing. This methodology allows for. Now we'll further move to next section, which is called effective ways of a project manager. So there are few highlights I have mentioned here. The first will be successful manager takes the ownership within their. So if you're working into this role, you have to be, responsible enough. You have to take the ownership of the project scope, of the key things to be delivered as per your role, so that you can have a successful project delivery. Know your team members, speak to your team members most oftenly, and to make them feel comfortable, you have to take care of their support, whenever required. You have to be in their shoes. You have to feel like how what is their strength, how they feel. Is there any challenge that they are facing? Is there anything important they want to discuss with you? So you need to be, communicative enough with your team members, so that you can utilize them in effective manner. Always set the high standards. You have to settle for the best. This will help in getting. This will help team in feeling pride. Always look to improve further. There's no end of learning. It keeps going. So this should be the attitude of a good manager. As we all know, nobody is perfect in this world, so there's always a scope of learning. So listen more than to speak. A good manager always listens first, then after observation speaks out. So it gives us time, options, and knowledge to decide and speak. So building a support network around them. Great managers treat people with their respect. Great managers treat people with respect, build good relationship with team members, clients, contractors, suppliers, and other managers too. So when required, you get the right support. So you have to, you have to give them self-respect. You have to be well communicative, and to get respect, you have to give them and everybody respect. Okay, to build up a support, to build up a strong team, to build up a strong team. Yes. So so just wait, think, and then act. So do not act impulsively in situations. No need to be, hurry in taking decision. You have to think of the situation. You have to do the analysis first, and don't take decision impulsively. Just think of the situation, do the right analysis, talk to people, then take the decision. Filter your task. So make a to-do list with then to prioritize the tasks which are the most important to complete. This will help you in keeping tasks in top of mind. So always prioritize your task for everyday scope of work. You have to prioritize which item to be delivered first as per the customer, and deliver that first. Okay. So last we can discuss about is you have to make decision based on the facts, not emotions. You need to have thorough understanding of the situation with facts, then take decision. As I just mentioned, you don't need to be hurry. You no need to act impulsively, and take rash decisions, take wrong decisions. So think calmly, act calmly, think of the do a thorough analysis of the situation, uh, and try doing root cause analysis. Okay. And then come to conclusion and to decide the next step. So these are the key processes and, best practices in project management I discussed today. I hope this. So please like and comment. Thank you.